Welcome back, everybody, to Honey Bear Catherine's Haven. We had a little momentary Meta Horizon glitch where we all got kicked out, and we're back now. So, we were in the middle of a story from Rapture. He was telling us about a situation where an engaged woman was having an affair with him, and he wrote a letter to her fiance. So, Rapture, would you continue with your story, please?
Yes. So I mailed the letter to Lee. I confirmed that he got the letter. And I just told him the truth. I said, hey, your fiance, Shelly, is cheating on you. She broke up with me, but we're not together anymore. But I just want to let you know if you're going to marry this woman, you got to know what kind of woman she is. So I did find out through the grapevine that he broke up the engagement with her. And I was like really happy for him. You know what I'm saying? And because that's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? You can't, if you're like engaged to somebody, you're like, you're betrothed. You're like married, at that almost like that. But you just have to do the
That's what
vows
it
pretty
is.
much,
That's exactly what it
So
is. That's what it's
so
supposed to be.
basically
Yeah.
I being a good guy, I need to tell another man that say, hey, don't be involved with if you're gonna be involved with this woman, I left it up to him. Yes, you do what
Mhm.
you want. You can confirm my story, it's all true and everything, So
Mhm.
I just felt like, I couldn't let I was hurt. I couldn't just let another man can be hurt, with all the lies
Spite.
and
You did it with
But
deception and
spite.
stuff.
truthfully, you
Okay,
wanted to
I
get
have
back at
a
her,
Yeah.
right?
right.
Truthfully,
I
you
Yeah.
have
wanted
a
to get back
question.
at
Yeah.
I
her.
was just going to say that. Would you have written to him if she didn't break up with you?
I would still have written the letter and I would have broke up with her had I known she was
Oh, you would have
engaged.
broken up with
Yes.
her.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's,
Okay.
I'm not looking for that sort of thing. So,
Right.
yeah, you know what I mean? So you have to, I just have a good heart and I wanted to basically, it wasn't spite of her. It was
Mhm.
because I wanted to warn him. That's the
Right.
thing. So
Right.
that's pretty
Well,
much how that
that's
story
understandable.
went. So, okay.
Wow. So there are women cheating as well as men. It's not just men cheating, women are cheating now too. And especially now that, well, back in the day, women weren't in the workforce the way they are now. Now women are exposed to a lot more situations, and
Mm,
they're not just swallowing and biting the bullet when they're in a bad relationship. They're reaching out to other people, which is another thing people didn't do before. People didn't speak on the things. They just went ahead and just grin. They just grinned and they bore it.
Bared
They
it.
didn't do
Yeah.
any. Yeah, they didn't do anything with anybody else. But now women have the freedom, and that's what they're doing. So my question again is, what for some of the other ones, what do you consider cheating? Somebody come up and tell me, if your spouse was having lunch every day with somebody, maybe let's say riding to work every day with the same person, and then those two were going
Hmm.
out to lunch every day. How would you feel about that? How would you feel, Leaper?
A quick point. If you communicate sexual intentions, that's cheating. So if
No,
you're
no,
just
no, not
mm,
riding,
sexual intent. That wasn't my
yeah.
no,
question.
no,
My
I know. If you're riding with somebody, it's just like you're riding with a buddy. Okay. But
Yeah,
the minute
yeah.
that it becomes verbally communicating, like we were talking about, emotions, that kind of
Hmm.
stuff, the minute that you cross that line, that's cheating.
When
It's
you
like
Yeah.
start
you
sharing
go
those
you go into a
intimacies.
Yeah.
bar, you go
Mm.
into a bar to have a drink, and you start goo goo gaga a girl over there. That's a
Mhm.
form of cheating because you're desiring her. That's what I'm saying. When the minute that you desire and you're
Yep.
in a relationship, that's cheating.
Well, remember what Jimmy
Hmm.
Carter said? Jimmy Carter said something about when you're lusting in your heart that
Yep.
you're cheating. I
That's
remember
right.
when
And
he
I
said
agree
that.
with
Yeah.
that.
Same
I
same
think
same
that's
as going to stripper
Mm.
bars. It's no different. You're looking at another woman naked. That's cheating.
Yeah, that's true.
You talk
Because you're
online, you talk
desiring
on the
that woman
phone.
who's on the
That's right.
bar. Yep.
Then
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. Desire,
Mhm.
communication of
Mhm.
sexual ideas.
But
Right.
the point is that you can ride with some guys that don't. You ride with somebody.
you don't cross that line, but people think you're crossing the line, but you're not
Well,
crossing that line.
Well, you know
Right.
if
You
you're
know,
crossing
and
the
Okay, but
line
sometimes,
or
look at
not.
these police officers like yourself. Um, some are men and women partners. They ride
mhm.
every day together. They have lunch together.
Mm-hmm.
That's
well,
not cheating.
I didn't have that when I come from a small town in Tennessee, so we ride by ourselves. So
Oh,
unfortunately, like New York and everybody else, we don't have that luxury to have somebody partner with you, you know.
Well,
But
let's look at the
but there's some things
celebrities.
like that.
Let's look at the celebrities.
Yeah,
Whenever, how many in the past have you seen they've made movies together?
yeah,
And when you're on the set, you do a lot, you spend a lot of time on the set.
yep.
And and how many of them, look, Elizabeth Taylor married all her co-stars. Look at
Brad
Angelina
Pitt and
Jolie and Brad Pitt.
yep.
He was married to what was her name with the
Jennifer
blonde hair?
Aniston.
He was married to Jennifer Aniston, broke up with Jennifer Aniston to go with Angelina Jolie. So these the intimate contact that you have
Yeah.
daily with people sometimes is enough to make something click in you, and you say, oh, maybe this is the person I was supposed to be with all along. Smiles.
Yeah, if I have, I mean, we know, like if I have a male friend and I know that he's married, there's
Mm-hmm.
just certain things that I wouldn't do. I
Mm-hmm.
have a male friend and I know that he's married. I've never personally met his wife, but he would
Mm-hmm.
always, say, "Can I take you out to lunch?" Or, "Let's go to lunch." And he'll try to cover it up with like, "Yeah, you like a little sister." No, because I get those vibes from you.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if I feel a certain way and I see that your
hmm
motives behind it, then I'm not going to hang out with you in that capacity. I
Right.
could be your
Yep.
friend and not go to lunch with you, knowing
Yeah.
that you're a married man. So I
Right.
think yeah, and that's just for me. If I get a feeling that a man is attracted to me for more than just a friendship, I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
spend personal or intimate time with him because I think it's natural if you spend time with people and talk to them and get to know them, somebody might develop feelings. And that's
That's what they
just my
say. Yeah.
opinion.
yeah.
What is
It's
that
true.
in the street? They call it catching feelings. I always wonder, how can you catch feelings? You reach up and you catch it. I've heard that.
Feelings,
I
Yeah.
heard that in the
nothing
street.
more than
Yeah,
feelings.
no. But
Say
it's
what?
from I understand the police officers. I have contact with females all the time,
Yeah.
and I had one example. Somebody I I was talking to somebody, and somebody told my wife that I was cheating on. I'm like, and she went and told me and said, what my husband do on his job is his business. Don't bring it here
Mm-hmm.
to my house."
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
she knew uh
She
how I
trusted
was.
you. She
She knew
trusted you.
what kind. Yeah. And pointed that I came home, and she knew where I was at because she can call me anytime she wants. So she knew
Mm,
where I was at
mhm.
all times.
Right.
So I'm like,
Right.
and the point is that you go tell my wife about something I did.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of stupid, But
Oh,
I
yeah.
I just didn't go across that line. I just didn't cross the line,
Well, see,
you
that
know.
was good that you were like that. All
Yeah.
people are not like that. But
Yeah.
but now,
Right.
okay, the second half of our discussion, that we can briefly touch on, it's people do cheat. So we've established the fact of
Yeah.
listening to everybody that people do cheat. The second part of that is, can the relationship survive a cheating partner? Can it survive? Does anybody have a story of a relationship that did survive cheating? Did anybody survive cheating?
Well, my third wife, she cheated,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I kept her for I she cheated on me, but
Mhm.
I went back and like, oh, we're gonna try. But I wind up cheating on her because I'm like, and I'm like, why? Because the tip tap, because I knew it was not gonna go where. No, it's not gonna
Mhm.
go anywhere. So
Okay.
sometimes you do cheat on somebody else. Like, okay, you gonna keep cheating, I'm gonna cheat. you know.
And one of the things is tit for tat does not work.
Yeah.
Just
It,
yeah,
ain't- it didn't it
doesn't.
didn't work for me because it we both lost, and then and the
Mhm.
point is that it just went downhill from that point. You know.
That's why I said I think
yes.
sometimes people cheat
Mm-hmm.
because they're so unhappy and they
Mhm.
go out looking. Well, not necessarily looking, but
Yeah.
when they find it, you don't want to go back.
Right.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, you
Because
do
you
not
found
want
the
to go
person
back.
that makes you happy.
Yeah, but
You
yeah.
found that person. Yeah.
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 Oh, that was my experience. So I mean,
Well,
I
yeah.
don't think
Well, you were
it.
very blessed in that regard. I mean,
Yes,
it started off
was.
as what was considered wrong,
Yep.
but it came to be a blessing for you, and that's a good thing.
It
With
was.
my ex-husband, and I mentioned it at the top of the hour that he cheated. There were times he cheated. I didn't know about everybody because he was a serial cheater, as you said about yours. He was a serial cheater. I had friends, I had relatives. He cheated with them all. I couldn't have any friends come to the house. He would cheat with them. So what ended up happening, and I was married to him for 17 years. 17 years, and I stayed because we had kids. We
Yep.
had kids together. We had 4
Yep.
children, a daughter and 3 sons. And we ended up splitting up when my youngest son was 4 years old. So our relationship did not last, not because I didn't try after the first time I found out he was cheating, but because he continued to cheat. So that is another question. Is once a cheater always a cheater, or can they redeem themselves? What do you think?
I got a question here. So what about those religions or those whatever where they have more than one
Yeah.
You
wife?
never answered my
Polygamy.
question. When I asked throw a question out there, you
Yeah,
don't
Okay,
answer.
okay.
You keep
Okay,
throwing
what was
away,
your
yeah.
question again? Can it survive?
Yeah.
It depends.
yeah.
It depends on your morals and your beliefs. That's why I'm saying, what about those religions where they're allowed to have more than one wife?
I
But
think
that's
they agreed to do that.
They
Right,
do
but
agree
see,
to do that. So that's not cheating.
different. That's right, different beliefs.
Yeah,
Whereas
that's not
if
cheating.
me looking at that person, I'm not saying you lucky son of a bitch. I'm saying I don't agree with that. But you know
Mhm.
what? I don't hate you for it, but I wouldn't agree with that kind of a lifestyle. But
Nope.
that's what I'm saying. You know, there's everything in the world isn't black and white.
No, but that when they
Mm.
agree for religious reasons that they are going to be, what is that called? Polyamorous or
Yeah,
polygamous?
polygamous.
Polygamy.
Polygamous.
Yep.
Yeah,
Polygamous.
That's the
polygamy.
new
So
When
that-
they
thing.
agree
So then
with
maybe
that,
everybody
Yeah.
should become polygamists that want to cheat. So then in
That's not
everybody's
really.
eyes,
I mean,
it's-
that's
That's not
religious. Why
cheating.
that's
Yeah.
not
I
cheating.
know. No,
because
change-
that's
change your-
more. That's
change-
religious.
right.
Why? Because a lot
right,
of
change-
guys don't
change
know.
your religion so that you
yeah.
can do it.
Yeah, but a lot
But
of
is
guys, a lot of
polygamy
people
a
are
religion?
the religion.
Polygamy is not a
no,
religion.
No, it's not a
Yeah,
religion.
so-
No,
No,
I'm
no.
saying
It's a
join the
lifestyle.
religion. You want to cheat? Join the religion that has it, and then you can think to yourself
Wear
that it's
yourself
okay.
out.
That's still ain't
Yeah.
no different.
You're
brother.
no
Yeah.
kidding.
I just wanted.
You will
I
be
just
wearing
wanted to
yourself
comment
out.
about serial cheating.
Yes.
I want to confess I'm a serial cheater. Started with Frosted Flakes, then I went to cornflakes. You know, I just had to
Boom.
try different brands of cereal. You know, so yeah. But
That's
I don't
a
know if
good one,
there's
Rapture.
I don't know if there's like a serial anonymous sort of thing people can go to for serial cheating that way. You know,
Thank you,
so.
Rapture. That's
You're
some
welcome.
That's some good levity. I love it. Good levity.
Yeah.
levity.
But,
Oh, by
Sometimes
the
you
way,
need
I did
that.
want to comment about can a relationship survive cheating? I
Yes.
believe that God's will is reconciliation always. So if the person is willing to repent and cut that relationship off and seek their
Mhm,
mate's forgiveness and get counseling, it can survive. Okay,
mhm.
but it's on probation, pretty much. Now
Right,
I'll
it
tell
is.
you,
That trust
tell
has
you-
to
Counseling
be
doesn't always work.
yeah,
it
No, it
can. It
doesn't.
depends.
It
It
doesn't.
depends on who you're getting it
Trust
from.
is broken.
Mhm.
Trust is broken, so it's going to take a while for that trust to be
Over.
rebuilt. And
Right.
every relationship's based on trust. You know what I mean? So
It is.
I'm
You
gonna
have
tell
to
you a
have
story
trust
of
in
a
other- Yep.
a guy who helped me lose weight. He's got a program that he's a
Yep.
bodybuilder by living.
Yep.
He has 4 kids with his wife. His
Mhm.
wife, and they're both believers in the Lord.
Mhm. Mhm.
But it was probably like what Chiquita said. She got emotionally detached from her husband, found another man that she got emotionally attached to, and had an affair with him. And so, they ended up getting divorced because she would not leave this other man that she was having an affair with. So it's been
Okay.
like 5 years now since this has happened, 5.5 years since he divorced his wife.
Oh, okay.
And, so sometimes it doesn't always work out,
Right.
so.
Yeah, because
Right.
trust has to be earned back.
Mm-hmm.
And if the person continues to do what they're doing and continues to ignore what the
Mhm.
other person in the relationship would like, you have to be on this. You have to communicate. Communication is the key in probably
Mhm.
everything. My ex-husband said to me when I found him with that same woman. Now I worked at a college. He worked way over at Eastman Kodak at a different place. And I went to the bank on my lunch hour. I'm coming out of the bank, I'm in my car coming down the parking lot. I see him driving in with her in the car. And so
Wow.
when I went back to work, I knew I was going to get a phone call. So he called me. I didn't pay attention to the call until we got home. And then he said to me, we were out on the porch discussing it because I don't believe in discussing these things in front of your kids. We were out on the porch discussing it, and he said to me, that relationship didn't start in one day and it's not going to end in one day. And I said, well, he's lucky I wasn't a cussing person because I could have cussed him up one side and down the other, but I didn't because I don't curse. But that's what he said to me. This relationship didn't start in one day and it's not going to end in one day. That to
Oh, he
me
was
said
bold.
he was going to do whatever the heck he wanted to do. And that's why he
He-
became an ex-husband.
He's
Not
lucky
only
you
that, but
didn't have a pencil.
he was also right, a pencil. He was also physically, mentally, he was also an abuser. I suffered through domestic violence with him, so that's another reason why that broke up. So yeah.
Yep.
So there was a lot involved in that relationship. So that's why he's an
Yeah.
ex-husband.
Wow.
So
Wow.
anybody else have anything that they would like to say? Anybody have any
I mean,
anecdotes? Any
some people cheat if they can get away with it. Like you said,
Mhm.
domestic violence. A lot of
Mhm.
it goes on both sides. Same.
Mhm.
People cheat
Mhm.
on each other because they can get away with it because of domestic violence. Because like, well,
Mhm.
if I keep her control or him control, I can do
Mhm.
what I want to do and come back.
Right.
And that happen,
She'll
because
always
I
be there.
she'll
He or
always be
she will
there.
always be there.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, because I experienced. I did research on that too, and the same sex and everything else, and they do the exact same thing. And I'm
Right.
like, I mean, and sometimes in the religious wise, I'm not going to particularly throw what religious. Some religions, if you cheat on some a church, period,
That's another story.
period, and they tell you they tell you to leave whatever your spouse that cheated, not to mess. They
Yeah.
kind of oust them. You
Yeah.
stun
They
them,
oust them.
Yep.
and I'm not going to say what religious is, but I
They
kind
are.
of know,
Right.
and I'm like, and I'm like, how can you do that? Do that, but they do. I mean, if you
Right.
cheat on somebody, they kick you out of church completely.
Yeah.
Some of them
You know,
stone
Yeah.
you to death.
If
They
you
yeah,
go
they
to
do.
church.
Well,
Yeah, they
remember
do.
Hester Prynne
Yeah.
in the Scarlet Letter?
Mhm.
Remember her? She
Yeah.
cheated with a religious man, didn't she? Didn't she cheat with she cheated with the minister of the village?
Yeah.
That's the book, The Scarlet Letter, from years and years ago. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but
Yeah.
I saw the
cheated
movie.
with yeah, she cheated
Yeah.
with a man of God, and she's the one that everybody shunned. She had to run around with a big letter A on her chest for adulteress. And he got away. Yeah, she did.
Well,
I
So
mean,
it
it,
takes
it,
two
it
to commit
happens. It
adultery.
happens
He should have
religious
been wearing
wise,
the A word
and
too.
yeah, it happens
I
religious
heard some
wise. Pat, and
Yeah,
pastors
somebody
too.
out there.
I just,
yeah.
I was going to
It's-
say that it's 2025, and I don't know why people in this day and age would even want to cheat. It's too
Right, with
easy to
all
get
the
caught.
disease and the technology and
Disease.
all of that.
Shoot, you can get that. Yeah, the technology is what I'm saying. Yeah,
Mhm,
you can
the
get,
technology.
Social
you know
media.
what?
Disease has always
Social
been
media.
around, but
Yeah, social
yeah,
media.
but
feel
people
you need to-
nowadays.
If
I
you
was going
feel
to
you
say that
need to-
people nowadays have more of a they lean more on social media than back in
Yeah.
the 80s. Like we didn't have much
didn't
distractions in
have-
relationships. Like my
yeah.
parents, they've been married for 61 years. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, God bless them.
Yeah.
Wow.
You seen them? Go to you're on my Facebook. You can see them on
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
And they've been
okay.
married for 61 years. And I think that contribute to that is that there's like back then there weren't that many distractions. Now you've got social media trying to keep
Oh,
up
my
with this one and
goodness.
that
Yeah.
one. You know, this one
Yes.
looking at you go on. I watch a lot of because I'm a furloughed government employee, so I'm watching a lot of divorce court now. And you
Yes.
watch divorce court, man. All these young kids, it's all about
Mhm.
social media. I went on their Facebook page. I looked on the
And
Instagram. I
Facebook,
got the
yeah.
phone and blah blah.
Exactly.
I'm like, damn.
I
when
went through
when I
his
caught my
computer. I
wife,
went through his phone.
you know what
Yeah.
I did? I did go through our computer when I was
Mhm.
when I found her, but the big thing was I went through her
Mhm.
purse back in the day. I didn't even there was no
The
social
purse
media.
and the
pockets.
My
You
mom
went
used
through a
to go
purse,
through my
man?
dad's pockets.
I went through her
the
purse, bro.
My mama said,
I
"Don't."
went through
I
her
never
purse.
go. No,
I know,
man, no,
I know, I know,
no,
I
man,
know.
no.
Not my mama
no.
purse. I would
My-
never
no,
go
my
through a
mama,
mama purse.
no, man, no.
Uh-uh.
My wife,
My
purse,
mama
no.
be like,
Mm-mm,
go in my
that's-
purse and get. I'm like, no, here's
no,
your purse.
no,
I'm not
Here.
looking in my mama purse.
no.
But yeah,
My
Yeah,
mom-
yeah,
you
that's
don't go in
yeah.
that purse.
They
Or
go
the
in purse,
my
never
mom
go in
used to
purse.
search my
Mm-mm,
dad's
no.
coat
Wallet.
pockets.
Yeah.
Or a
The
man's
coat
Yeah,
fault.
or a
No, I
man's
didn't
pants
either.
pockets.
My
When they
husband
do
would
laundry,
say,
That's
going through
secret.
the
That's sacred.
pockets.
That's sacred
That's
ground
yours.
right there.
wow.
That's sacred
Uh-huh.
ground. Now, if my
Yeah.
wife told me pick your purse up, I know you go get your own purse. No,
Right.
no, I ain't touch
No.
that.
I'm
Nope,
not touching it.
For
not
those
touching
of
it.
you new in the audience, I heard somebody say something. You cannot be heard. It's on nearby out there. If you need to be heard, you come up to the mic if you want to say something. I heard somebody out there say something, but I don't know who it was. But just to let you know, if you have something to say and you'd like to be heard, come up to the mic because that's where the
Yeah.
trigger is.
what I
Yeah.
was going to say
Step
is,
up to the mic.
if a person is already feeling they need to cheat,
Hmm.
then that relationship was over
It's over.
a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Yeah.
You know,
But-
But some want their cake and eat it too, though.
But can I
Well,
ask you a
yeah.
question? Some people some people want to cheat to get or arouse from you. They see, you know,
Mhm.
If you
because
care.
yeah, they come down like,
Right.
oh, and just to throw you out there and cheat to like get emotion from you, you know.
Hmm.
And some people
Mhm.
do that.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
oh, yeah,
and if
yeah,
I
yeah.
say, and I say, if you do that, then you go ahead, because if you gotta go that far just to get me aroused or something like that, you gotta cheat and see what I'm gonna do. See ya.
See, that's a dangerous game. You don't play.
Yeah,
that
you
is
don't
a
do
dangerous
jealousy.
game.
Yeah.
Jealousy is a dangerous
Mhm.
game. You don't play
Yeah.
that. My ex-husband was
green-eyed
jealous.
monster.
He was
Yeah.
jealous, and I wasn't even doing anything. I could just look in the wrong direction. He'd be jealous. He tried to kill me.
'Cause he was
Jealousy
cheating.
is not-
Because he was cheating. That's
Right.
That's-
That's what I
that's
said.
the-
Yeah, he was
the
cheating.
minute when somebody is accusing the other.
There you
Usually
go.
that person is doing it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what
Yep.
they got that
Yeah.
guilt inside
Mhm.
that, oh, I think she's cheating too.
Right.
It's
Right.
if you're happy with what you're with, you're never gonna
Exactly.
accuse that person.
Right.
It's when
That's true.
you know
Because my
Maturity
mom,
has a lot to
my
do
mom
with
was
it.
told me that mothers always have this think about everything, and she's like, if she thought about you cheating, she was cheating, and the person like if the person left that person to come to you that quickly, she's gonna leave you same way.
What
It
she's
was
gonna
that
do
easy.
now,
It was
what
that
she
easy
do
for her,
with
that
you.
person to leave the other relationship to come to you.
Mhm.
She's gonna do the person, whoever the person is, you're gonna do it to you, and that's a sign. That's a sign right there. Nope, you stay where you
Karma.
at. Yeah,
But
nope,
the
I
thing
don't want it.
is, maybe you're doing something though. think about it this way. It's not always maybe she's cheating that or he's cheating and that's why they see you. It could be that there's something in your behavior that's letting them think that you are. So if you have the good communication again and you say to that person, when you're doing this, it looks like you're doing something that's not right. If they continue to do it, then they're not paying attention to what you said. But if
Yeah,
they kind of said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize. I was just," if they say something about it, then you know that they're not. But they could be doing it because there's something that you're doing that's triggering them, maybe from another relationship, maybe from
Mm-hmm.
something else that's making them think that you're cheating.
Yeah.
Not because they
Yeah.
are, but it's a trigger.
But
Yeah. You're
goes,
true. You're right.
It goes
You're
back
right.
to what I first opened up when I said, God put us on the earth to be together with somebody, and everything is there for a reason, and that's
Mhm.
why people move and they go here and there. It's everything everybody has said tonight is basically that, just in a different form.
I hear you.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's I did. Are
Mhm.
you right? Because that happened to me. If I was domestic, I had to be kind to that person. I had to catch myself. That person like, oh, you treat. I'm like, and I like, oh, I'm gonna cross that line. I'm like, because they think I care. I went over that person, care for that person very much. I
Right.
had to draw back. I'm like, okay, I got to go a different angle with this because
Mhm.
what I was kind of caring. I was like, you don't want to get emotional
Mhm.
for what you're doing. I'm like, I had to catch myself, to
Mm.
do that. I'm like, because that
Right.
was good. The person like started liking me. And I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry, I forgive you for that
Mm-hmm.
vibe. That's not my
Mhm.
attention. So
Mhm.
I had to go for a different way of
Right.
doing things because
Right.
you don't realize sometimes you do things, you make people think
Right.
you like you, and you really don't
Oh
realize
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That until like you and like somebody's like, oh, you like me
You
so
have to be
much.
careful.
You
Yeah.
got to be very careful because
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
playing with somebody emotional.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, but sometimes
Yeah.
they cross that line and it gives you that icky feeling, and it's just like
Oh
Yeah,
you don't know.
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
Mhm.
God,
Mhm.
yeah,
I've had that happen a
Yeah.
couple of times.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I want to
It,
wrap up with my panel here and give last words. We are at we've so I'd like to, if you'd like to wrap up and give your last words.
My thought is, just because you cheat once doesn't mean you're going to be always a cheater.
mhm.
You're not always a cheater.
Mm-hmm. You got a good
Yeah.
point.
Some
That's
are,
true.
but not everybody.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Smiles.
I feel the same. I mean, it's like if you care enough about that person and they made that mistake, and they are remorseful about it. I think
Mm-hmm.
if the communication is open and you find out the reason why, the reason why they felt the need to cheat,
Mm-hmm.
it possibly could be salvaged. I
That's
mean,
true.
everybody makes
Yeah.
makes mistakes, and you know, um, it's if you care about that person and love them deeply, I think it's worth giving it another try if
Yes.
they can explain to you why they did it. If they don't have a valid reason, because it's a two-way street. So it could
Mm-hmm.
be something that I wasn't doing, or something that I wasn't giving, to make
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
person do that. So I
And then
Mhm.
think
you
it
two
could
can
be
work it
Yeah.
out and
salvaged.
and
Yeah.
work it
Yeah.
out and grow from
Hmm.
there.
Let's
Right.
cheat with
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
know,
exactly.
Yeah.
All
that
right.
that's
Let's
that's
Yeah.
true.
Hey, how you
That's
doing? What your
true.
Yeah.
name
Yeah. Yeah.
is?
That's true.
I don't think she
The,
means
the
that.
the old
Oh, you
Lucinda.
mean with the person you're with? Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
the
sorry.
person you're with. Yeah, yeah. There used to
I
be
thought
a
you was
whole lot
talking
of.
to me.
Oh, gee. There's
Got
a
a
whole
setup
lot
here.
of. There was a whole lot of different things that I had seen before when I got married that you're supposed to do to keep your relationship fresh. You play the role playing games.
I love
You
it.
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
go- you
Yep,
you meet each
those
other
are
at the
fun.
bar, and you go there at separate times at a bar or a
Yeah.
restaurant or something, and then you walk up and say, hey,
Yeah.
hey, where have you been? And
Oh,
you
easy
just
now.
you just make it all up and it's together and it
Yeah,
Yeah.
excites the
spice it
relationship.
up.
Those are the
Yeah.
Make
kinds
it
of things that, and
spicy.
I tried that with my first husband, but hey, once a cheater, always a cheater, and it doesn't
Yeah.
work.
Right.
So we
Yeah.
did those things. We did the hotel. We did all of that stuff. We did it. We did it. But still, he had to go to the strip bars and watch the naked ladies go down the pole. And his friends even told me he was up on the stage dancing with a stripper at one time. Those kinds of things. But
Oh,
anyway,
you think you're a little Chippendale, huh?
Yeah.
hey, listen, let me
Think
tell you
you're a
something.
little
I even did a strip
Mhm.
tease for him in the house in the living room one time. And I remember the song I did it to. It was Denise Williams Free. And I was doing my whole thing. And
Oh,
Okay.
shook
All
it,
right. It's
shook it now.
shook it now. All right.
Yeah, but
Hey,
you were still the same woman. He went to the bar and saw these new women. That's why it didn't attract him when you were doing it.
Oh, it attracted him when I was doing it. I ain't gonna say it didn't.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
No,
Shit.
no. I mean, I'm sure it would, but I'm saying
Role
it
play
didn't
comes
attract
with
him
props
enough to
and
stop
accent.
messing
Stop him.
around.
Oh no, because he was a serial cheater. He did what he needed
Yeah.
to do. For
Yeah.
real.
But-
You got some
yeah,
last words to give us.
Oh yeah, I got one thing
Okay,
I
we
want
all-
to say. I was going to say that you live, you learn,
And you
forgive,
love.
and move on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's all I can
Mhm,
say. As
mhm.
long as you learn something out of it,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
and then move on
Yeah.
and go on to other
There you go,
things, and just
playa.
remember
Yeah.
what happened. That's right, player.
But-
Player,
You know what I
player.
mean?
yeah.
And if you do
Yeah.
cheat, just don't get caught. Damn it, that's all I'm just
Oh,
Yeah, you definitely are a player.
Make up some names. Make up some names. Like that wasn't me. I wasn't me. I told you it
that
wasn't me.
wasn't me. Bradley,
wasn't
some
me.
last words.
I learned that if somebody you cheat or you have a problem in your relationship, um, you notice that you go. My mama said, how you caught that person, you continue you continue doing that.
Yeah.
With that thing,
Exactly.
That's true.
how
That's
you
true.
caught a person, continue doing it, and because
Mhm.
when you stop doing that, the red flag goes up. So if
Yeah.
you start how you got that person, you should continue doing that all the rest of your
Exactly.
life. The exact
That's
same way.
exactly right,
And if
Bradley.
a problem comes up, you can talk about it.
Right.
Like you go on a date.
Right.
I think my second wife, we decided to go on dates once a month,
Mhm,
just to go out dates.
mhm,
And like we're single,
mhm.
she drive our car, I drive my car, we go somewhere and have a date and come
That
back.
sounds
And
like
like,
fun. Yeah, that's it.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was. And the point is like, well, why you come with two cars? We on dates. So you actually married? No, we on a date.
There you go.
That's how we look
There
at
you
it.
go.
We're not
That's right.
we'll marry,
That's right.
but we're on a date.
That's
Even
right.
date, the point is that you coming like we calling home and like the same thing. But if we drink, well, we didn't drink anyway, so we had to worry about no being gone drunk.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
but
right.
it's funny that we have drunk. We have wine, we get back home.
Mhm.
We talk about like like somebody talk about how your day go. We talk about each other. Say, how your day go. We have something to talk about
There
when
you
you're
go.
home.
That sounds really good. That's
Mhm.
that's a nice thing to keep marriage fresh.
Mhm.
And I want to thank you all for coming in, for joining us for this podcast of cheating. It sounds like we could probably do it again down the road at some point because everybody
Mhm.
seems to have some input and some things that happen, some advice to give, some ways that we can alleviate cheating. But I guess if with people who are unhappy and are cheating because of that, but somebody who's a serial cheater, you handle them one way, but the unhappiness, you can use communication to maybe talk to the person. If it's over, though, it's over. There's nothing that you can do. Maybe you're just living in a house, as roommates, but be careful of what you're attracting on the outside. Be careful that you don't hurt somebody else with an outside relationship that is not going to be permanent. Don't let them think that it's going to be permanent when it's not. Some people have better luck with it, and I admire what you went through. I think you were blessed, very blessed. 19 years of a good relationship. That was so wonderful. So wonderful. So anyway, thank you all for coming in. And I want to let you know to go to Bingo Under the Stars every Monday and Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, and 6 p.m. Pacific. We give out wonderful prizes, houses. We have a featured asset that I do try to hustle and get that thing done twice a week. I might have to take that down to once a week because twice a week is really, really hectic. I have some good technical support now that helps me out with doing that. And so anyway, thank you everybody for coming. Come to Bingo Under the Stars. And come to the podcast again next week when I think we're going to do interracial relationships, but that's not in stone. We're going to, yeah, our topic next week is possibly going to be interracial relationships. I know
I thought it was going to be pole
I had
dancing.
No,
what did you want to do?
I thought it was going to be pole dancing. You said you was stripping and stuff with your man. I was trying to figure out if you was going to give us some pointers and do a little show for us or something. Uh-oh, there she
Little
goes.
hula dancing.
She's like, get my dollar bills, dollar bills, y'all.
No, next week it'll probably next week be interracial relationships. That is what is considered interracial. Because everything isn't interracial that people think is. So what is considered interracial? We are going to discuss interracial relationships and ask your people to come in. At some point, we're going to be giving out prizes for people who come in and stay at the podcast and such. That's what I'm doing down the line. And I thank my panel for coming in. Trakita, Smiles, For Real Brother, and Bradley. Thank you so much for your participation. And I look forward to having you guys again at another time. You two aren't permanent. These two are. But if you would like to be, just let me know. And I would also definitely thank my camera person, Sane Sage. She is in here. She sticks to everything. She works hard to get this video out as best she can. Thank you, Sage. You are so much appreciated. Thank you all for coming, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I'm going to end this in prayer like I normally do. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for allowing us this time, for allowing us to spread good word and good tips out to each other. If anybody is having a problem struggling, please, I ask for you to speak to them and give them your blessing, give them counsel. And Father, we thank and we praise you for all the good works that you have made. And we want you to bless us all in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you,
Amen.
everybody, for coming.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're out.